but there was a couple of issues I picked up the other day. Just going to up. Go. Right, so we've got issue 157 of Dalek. This is a scout Dalek, which was, of course, as you can see, the female 13th Doctor. Now, let's just take this out of the box. This was another one that because I picked this up the other day. Hello, Master of Upgrade. How are you? How are you going? Picked this up the other day, and it's another one I was sort of deciding whether to pick it up or not. Now, doing good at some tacos. Oh, nice. Oh, don't mind tacos. I like tacos. Now, this Dalek, the 13th Doctor made the outer shell for the creature that's inside it. Now, I'm going to grab another Dalek, show you which one is better. Now, I'm going to show you this. Now, this is Dalek from the other episodes of the other actors that played the Doctor before the 13th one. Now, as you can see, this figure, the Dalek, perfectly fine, no problem, nothing wrong with the outer shell, perfectly fine, and it looks good, right? Then you've got one that the 13th Doctor made. 13th Doctor made for the creature inside it, which is a Dalek inside the shell. Made this. Now, the thing is, the bottom part, okay, yep, that's fine. That's fine. But the rest of it, and the thing is, the creature inside the Dalek, it was like one that was some slimy slug that attacked people, took them over, and that Dalek never did at all. And to turn around and have it with, kind of looks like a wooden version, like a first production before the second one. Yeah, that it does, Master Upgrade. Yeah, it definitely does. It was made for in that episode, all metal and rust and all rusty and and that, and the whole design of this Dalek was stupid. I mean, all right, you've got the bottom. That's fair enough. You got the bottom there. Okay, right. But the whole of it, all of it, it doesn't fit right. You've got this part, this thick part here, and then you've got this little skinny part. But when you look at this Dalek, oh, now you would think that they would have thought that a bit of a thought, a bit more of a thought about this, and have it where it was a colour. But the way they've made it, yes, definitely a different shape. And this one, so you've got these. One was from Remembrance of the Daleks, which from the was it the Seventh Doctor. All right, you've got that one. Now, the ones in from the new series. Let's see now. Let's see, what's this one? Okay, Genesis of the Daleks. Now, the thing is, if you have a look at this one, right, and this one, different colours, but because this is from Genesis of the Daleks. This is the before this one. Now they're very similar with the shape, same shape, but different colour, right? And that's how they should look. But this one, no. And that's the thing. The whole design of this Dalek is wrong. I don't like the whole design of it. I mean, I think they should have had a bit more of a think of the bottom as well, because it's just as though they've just thought, oh yeah, we'll just have like the big thick bubbles there and then the little ones. No, they didn't have a good think about it at all. And the whole design of it's wrong. Only difference is the middle, the black one looks like they put in new wood frames rather. Yes, that's the thing. Yeah, definitely must upgrade. You know, the white one just looks futuristic. Yes, that's the thing. And because like this one is the very, I think it's like probably the very first one, the Genesis of the Dalek. I think when the Fourth Doctor and his companions were sent back in time by the Time Lords, given a time ring, where the Doctor had to decide whether to destroy the Daleks or not. And I think the the cable with two wires. He was, you know, sitting around the corner, you know, deciding whether to, you know, destroy them or not. And of course, there was a lot of commotion going on, and they had to go, and he ended up them out, and then they ran off and with the other people. But then he came back later on, and came out, and of course a Dalek was coming past, and the ends of the wires, and he's hiding around the corner. You can see the Dalek coming along, and the Dalek went on it and it blew it up. Now, this is the thing, see, because this one is from where the seventh Doctor, right? And this one is sort of the Dalek's past. First, we could say the first Dalek from Skaro. And this one is more like this. It's like a future Dalek. But as you can see, the whole design of these Daleks are very similar. It's changed slightly, but always similar. This looks like a rust bucket bin, as though they've taken the top half off the Dalek, stuck a rusty thing on top, made sure that this is all rusty and just put like seriously, you know, the whole design of that Dalek was no good. I mean, the figure itself, I suppose the figure itself is, I suppose, it's all right. Okay, a bit of a rusty look. You've got that there, and then you've got this here, the gun, and then you've got where they look through the eyepiece there, and then you've got the top here. But this one, I was sort of thinking, will I get it? But I thought, yeah, I'll pick it up. But even though the figure's all right, you know, detail's okay. Colour, because it's like a rusty look. But yeah, I think, like, even in the new series, the Daleks, they slightly changed the frame of the Daleks, but it always looked similar to others. But the thing that was inside this one was like some psycho. It would, like, some slug thing would take over the person, and I just think that the whole design of it is not good at all. It's just, I don't know, it's just wrong, because this was the very first one. As you can see, you got like that. Is that right? Then when you look at this one, of course, this is like a future one, but it was in like past, but the future, you could say, like a future Dalek, as you said, Master Upgrade. where the Seventh Doctor came up against Devros again. But you know, I just think that when you do these, put these together, this one, you know, all these other ones of the Daleks been good, pretty good. This one, not so good. I mean, the figure's all right. Design, the whole detail and colour is all right of that. But I just think that it no, it just like where is it there? There's a better picture. Here if you can see it. Like this girl gets taken over now. What's sitting on her back is the like organism thing that is inside the shell. Dalek. And the thing is, they never did that. Never did that at all. So, like, with, like, Devros, they've slightly changed him over the years. The 12th Doctor, who came up against Devros, he was slightly sort of changed, but still had the same style and how it has been over the years, but still kept it the way it's been, but changed a bit. And the episode where the 12th Doctor comes up against Devros, where Devros suddenly opens his eyes, but he was trying to trick the Doctor. So the Doctor gets caught up in these cables, and Devros thinks he's going to take some of the Doctor's regeneration. But the thing was, it sort of backfired because he gave the Doctor gave Daleks like emotions. They were acting all weird. Not only that, but they kept changing actors for Doctor Who, which is kind of confusing for a person who gets into the first 3 seasons. The reason for that master upgrade is when William Hartnell first played the Doctor. He played the character for quite some time, and then started to deteriorate. He wasn't well, and everyone would notice that there was something wrong with William Hartnell. He wasn't well, and because it came the day when Sidney Newman called William Hartnell into his office and was talking to him about it and said, I have to let you go. We're very concerned about William Hartnell's health. And when they sort of went to another scene, because you could see it in the there was like a true story thing of about William Hartnell, and when one of the other Newman's employees that came in, they're sitting there, and Sidney Newman, they're all sitting there, and Sidney Newman says something about regeneration, which meant that they could still keep the same character, but have it where you have a different actor who plays the same character, so they regenerate. So when time for the first Doctor regenerates, which was only had a battle against the Cybermen. Was on some frozen place. He regenerated, and Patrick Trojan took over. So that's why there's always been a different actor, Master Upgrade, playing the Doctor. So that way, it's the same character. Like, might be like a different actor, like same person on a different body. Yeah, yes. It's sort of like where in the 50th anniversary, where Bad Wolf is talking to the other Doctor that they don't mention, and says about the sonic screwdriver, where it's the same software, different case, because every sonic screwdriver is always a different case, different on the outside but the same on the inside. So this is why with the Doctor, that's why Sidney Newman thought of regeneration, so that when it came time for to go, they'd have a regeneration, and they regenerate, and it'd be a new, well, the Doctor have a new face, and sort of, he's still a bit hazy, needs to in other words, try and take it easy, and of course, usually in his 15 I think 15-hour regeneration, he's still well, in other words, what the 11th Doctor said, still cooking, in other words. So that's why it's sort of always different. At first, you know, and then he sort of thought, oh yes, I'm the Doctor. But he'd always, every time he'd regenerate, he'd say, oh, you know, still not Ginger, or they'd always go, oh, okay. And that's something that they get used to. And with the ninth Doctor, where he goes, oh, the ears, you know, and so it meant that they, like, in the 50th anniversary, hang on, I see now. I was a bit young when I watched it on cable, but yeah, I always wondered about the telephone red box. Was always an interesting time travel machine. Yes, yes, a lot of people are big fans, and built their own, you know, titles, because everyone's a big fan of the show, and of course with why it would be bigger on the inside and smaller on the outside. If you've got um, two square blocks, one's a smaller block, right, and the other one's a bigger block. So of course you've got the bigger block close to the small one, right? And you think, no, that's too big for the small one. But if you move it away, the big block becomes a smaller one, which means that it's smaller on the outside and bigger on the inside, which that's why it's always like that. So small on the outside. That's why people, they go in and go, oh, and then they go outside and they look all around the outside of the TARDIS and think, how is this possible? And well, what they be thinking, and with the fourth Doctor explained when he was explaining to Leela, she had a small block, and the Doctor had the big block, and he stood on the other side of the console and said, "Which is smaller?" And she said, "The one that was in." Said, "The one that's in your hand." So it means that's why it's always bigger on the inside. Um, Although, even though the Doctor had trouble with his chameleon circuit, um, he always tried to fix the chameleon circuit so that the outside of the TARDIS would be able to change. But over time, the Doctor just got used to having it as a police box. And ever since then, you've had lots of people. They make they've made their own TARDISes, their own consoles. You've got lots of people who do like fan films. There's lots of people that do their own Doctor Who episodes. All their own. Thinking of all their own episodes, and they all do a pretty good job. So the TARDIS, it's really it's a really cool TARDIS. Um, yeah. I always wondered how they did that, but hang on. But it's always a good thing to learn that show is a very good show because it was the only show that was different besides the X Files. Yes, yes, because with the X Files had to do with aliens, and that's not a bad show, the X Files, but with 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 Doctor Who coming out in 1963, and it's been popular ever since. Um, and they did an excellent job on the design of the villains and the characters and even when it came back, they added CGI and they pushed further uh, and you got the other mods like Romana, the Rani, the Master. How with the Master's TARDIS, um, I think he stole something from the Matrix from Gallifrey, so his TARDIS could change into anything. So the Master was sort of, what do I say, always tried to cause trouble for the Doctor, but the Doctor would always be one step ahead of him. The Rani would, let's say, the Rani would be more into, I think, dissecting like animals. She was sort of like a type of bad scientist sort of thing. Um, And then we've got Romana, who's a Time Lord who had travelled with the Doctor for so long. And then she was with the Key of Time, and then there was a actress that played a princess who ended up playing the role of Romana, because Romana ended up regenerating, and Romana had the princess face, and she travelled with her quite some time, and then she left with the K9, which is another the K9 the Doctor built, and yeah, so that's how, like, with it was a good thing that Cindy Newman thought of regeneration, because that way they can still keep the same character and have it where the Doctor can have a different face, and you can carry on with that character. Especially when like in the 50th anniversary, when they were deciding they were going to the moment where it was like a flower on top, and they were going to push it down, and the three of them were going to totally destroy Gallifrey. But no, they were shown like everybody living on parents, kids, and everyone running around because the Daleks attacking. And of course, the 11th Doctor looks at Clara and goes, "What?" And she says, "You know, the 11th Doctor was her Doctor, and knew that the 11th Doctor wouldn't do that." And all of a sudden, points the sonic screwdriver to the moment, turns it off, and then decides to think it has a plan where there's not just one Doctor, there's more, and sends a message to them. And of course, the other Doctor and the 10th Doctor, they all think, "Oh yes, I got it," and it's sort of sent down to his other selves, because the one thing is the Doctor, who'd always male brain, is able to send a message to each other, to his other selves, and end up having all of his selves, because they had a stasis cube which they could put Gallifrey inside, and it'd be safe. So that's why they need to have they need to have a male play the 14th Doctor, because it's always been a male. Because when Chris Chibnall decides to change it for a female to play a male role, the Time Lords can't change their gender. You know, the Doctor then has a male brain. It can't have a male brain in a female body. So hopefully, when this 13th Doctor regenerates, it's a male. And we're going to have a better writer, and it's better, just as good as all the others. And better villains. Not like that. And if they bring the Daleks back, not looking like that. think if I let's see. I've got another one. Now this one, which is from Stolen Earth, where of course Devros shows up again, takes every planet from every universe, and the last one he takes is Earth. Now this one, this is a Supreme Dalek. Now even though it's slightly different here, it's always, as you can see, Supreme Dalek, which is sort of one of the sort of boss. But the design is still similar to the very first one. Always similar. Even though it has these, it always similar to the others. And this was with the 10th Doctor. That one. So, as you can see there? See? Okay. And then you got there, okay? They're very similar, but that's sort of a boss Dalek, sort of Supreme Dalek. So, yeah, that one, very similar to all the others, but not that one. Now, the next issue, which is 158, I already got now a few weeks ago. Hang on. I think I know why. Remember what Doc Brown said when he travelled to the future, then the past? You can create another timeline on the time travel, so the line may be on the bottom rather than the top. Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember that massive upgrade. So a few weeks ago, I picked up 158, and that's Devros, which is from from Genesis of the Dalek. Now, there, which I'm not sure what's in 159. I'll have to have a look on the next. I'm sure it's anyway. I'll have a look. But yeah, I remember that master upgrade. Um, so yeah, so that's why I don't think they had a bit of a good think about. Those look way different, very cool looking. Yes, they're like, as I said, with this one they've got the Supreme Dalek, then you've got the white one, which is which is Remembrance of the Dalek. Um, you've got that one, and then you've got this one here, which is the very first one. This from the Genesis of the Daleks. Um, they always similar style, but always very definitely they definitely do look very cool, very cool. But a little bit disappointed with the way the whole design for this one though. So like it's all different ones, you know. You got all different ones, so I've given the sample. Hold on a minute. Something I've just realised. Oh no, it's alright. Oh good. Like with Devros. Now that figure, that's Devros from the Genesis of the Daleks. Then you've got this one, which I think doesn't say on the bottom. It doesn't say on the bottom where it's from. But I think that's a later version of Devros, where he's like, I think that's either one of the up against one of the doctors or one of the other doctors, the other ones that play the doctor when it came back. But as you can see there, they're sort of, it has changed. And as you can see, this part is changed there. But the thing is, it's always been very similar, even though that's changed on the back there. So yeah, so that's so these two kind of looks like a futuristic wheelchair with a headrest. Yes, yes, yes. It definitely does, Master Upgrade. It definitely does. Now, these two are from the same episode, Genesis of the Dalek, and yeah. But yeah, they always similar to the design of all the others. So yeah, so I'll have to have a look what's in 159. say on the bottom? I'll have to have a look. Have a look on the net. So yeah, I'll have to have a look on Google and that. So yeah, so that's how it will work. They're always the Daleks over the years always been slightly different. Still kept the same type of style with the design. They didn't have a good think about with this one. So yeah, so yeah, so like all the other characters over the years, like you've got some of these ones over the years, like there, and there, and there's K9, the Doctor. Had K9 go with him because his actual owner couldn't take K9 with him because something about not allowing a metal dog or something. That character's there is the terrible Zoden. You only had to make one move and it'd be near you in a flash, and it shoot out arrows. So that's a character that the Doctor's come up against. The Abominable Snowman there, third Doctor came up against. That's the Robot K1. Wasn't really a bad robot. Just was told the wrong thing. There was bad people telling this robot who the ones were that were bad, when he didn't know really that the ones that were telling him things were actually bad. They were bad themselves. So they were misleading this robot. This robot wasn't really bad. He was just misled and told to do things that he thought he was doing a good thing. Yeah, so yes. So yeah, so that's the Dalek called Reconnaissance Scout. Don't really like the design and all that and that of this one, even though the figure itself is alright, detail and colour, because the Dalek inside the casing of it was never supposed to be like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna go now. Now there'll definitely be another stream later on. Now it's possible either be a Spitfire double issue or gaming, but there'll be definitely be a stream later on. So as I said, I'm going to go now. Take care, everybody. It's always a pleasure chatting to you, Master of Upgrade. Take care, mate, and I will be on the next stream. Take care and stay safe. I will, Master of Upgrade. I definitely will, mate. So, as I always say, don't forget to put a like, put a comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Take care, guys. Bye now.